Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is a winner takes all here. Going to be very, very exciting. We have forced a game number 3 between two incredibly talented players. Let me go ahead and introduce them for you. We have, spawning in the top right position of GSL Whirlwind, the red Protoss, representing Mouse Sports, executing a very, very nice Sentry Immortal push on Ohana with Zealots in game number 2 to level the series. Can he take it and complete the comeback? It is HasuObs. He is going to be going up against the Blue Zerg in the top left corner, representing Caronte Esports. Getting knocked down to the lower bracket by his brother, so he's going to have to fight his way back up. But the series is delicately poised. He needs one more win to take it further. Can he do it? We have Vortix. So, a lot of cool stuff coming out of here so far. We have Hasu with the early probe scout to see where Vortix is, and he will be able to spot that he is in fact in the top left position. That's going to be good news. He sees that the spawning pool has gone down anyway. So I also saw that there was a gas cancel, so no super early gas or anything like that. And he's going to possibly check out the expansion to see exactly what's going on there as well. But Vortix, look at this, sending out an early drone scout of his own as well. That was not going to be for the hatch. You should be seeing the next drone pop by for the hatchery here. And Hasu, in the meantime, is just going to be checking out the third base location. Nothing there so far, so he'll go back to the natural. And we have got a forge on the low ground this time at the natural expansion for HasuObs. So a relatively wide choke, the neutral supply depot being built on the hill there on Whirlwind. And Hasu feels that the forge would be useful to help against that sort of play. And we have a lot of links popping out from Vortix because it was, in fact, a little bit, very interesting. Very, very early aggression coming out of here. He doesn't have that many drones, only 13 left at the moment. Will he be able to get out before the cannon? No, he won't. So this early pool is going to do massive damage to HasuObs, and that's why we have a gateway and a cannon being warped in inside the main base. Really good play coming out of here from a Protoss player. This is exactly what you need to do against this kind of early aggression from our Zerg. Forgive me if you've been seeing flickering on the screen, by the way, guys. I've been dealing for the last 2 minutes with a little bit of a hardware problem, and it's showing quite heavily on my end, but it looks like XSplit is currently unaffected. So fingers crossed the game will be able to continue, and I'll do a little bit more investigating after the series. Hopefully that hasn't affected your series too much so far. HasuObs putting down the pile at the natural expansion, but of course this is going to be one base play at the moment from Vortix. Now, the cannon is up in the mineral line and does actually cover the gas being taken. So that is the correct response. The cybernetics core also getting put up behind the mineral line here. And Vortix won't be able to do too much with these links. He might be able to poke around at the nexus, but actually the cannon's going to be in range of that as well. And things appear to be okay. It looks like my computer is currently stabilizing, so I'm not 100% sure what happened there, guys. Apologies for the start of that game, but it looks like everything is stable. So if you've been having troubles watching the video, that would be the reason for it. And very, very nice. Trying to surround a Zealot there, but HasuObs making sure it's within range of the cannon, and Vortix is going to have to back off for now. Now, he has killed the pile, and he's put down his natural expansion. So he might be able to use this opportunity he has here to leapfrog into a macro game. Hasu, in the meantime, is going to try and do as much damage as he can to this group of lings, and force Vortix back if he can. But Vortix has a decent number of Zerglings in here. He has 7. It's not the kind of number that HasuObs really wants to be moving out against with just a single Zealot. So a Stalker to help him is going to be supremely useful here, but still needs to be very careful. It now has regenerated all of its shields, but still doesn't want to go in alone. And in the meantime, we actually see Vortix just macroing up, getting ready here to either tech or build more expansion. We actually have Forgers being transferred, okay, to the natural, just a couple of seconds early, nothing too much to worry about. And it looks like the Nexus is going to get taken on the low ground for HasuObs. He knows that Vortix is going to use this opportunity to try and move forward with his economy and grab his natural expansion, maybe even his third base. So he does not feel too unconfident retaking the natural expansion, putting down the forge and pylon once again, and of course with the help of these units he's going to be able to defend that a lot better than he did before. Good choke points as well, and with the force field from the sentry he should more or less be okay now. Vortix, in the meantime, has gone for his layer. We can see he's gone up to a second gas. Note that the third and fourth gases at the natural expansion are also being taken at the same time. But no third base is forthcoming at this moment from Vortix. He's content to stay on 2 for now. It looks like this probe has a massive fan club behind him, but the Lings are able to take it out. So sadly, that probe was only able to lap up the fanboyism of those Zerglings for so long before it succumbed. The Overlord, of course, sees absolutely everything here, trying to get a couple Lings into the main base, but with those units there right next to the gateway, it's not going to be possible for Vortix to do that at this time. Robotics facility coming down now in the main base as well. So everything looking good. Actually, supply blocking very briefly. Vortix there by the looks of things, as the Overlord now pops out thanks to picking off the Overlord at the natural expansion. Spire now getting started for Vortix. Note he is still on 2 bases. There we go. The third base getting taken a little bit later. So opting to go up to... Of course, this is an early aggression coming out from Vortix here in game number 3. Going up to choosing his tech path. And when he chooses his tech path, then going for the third base. This is something we basically see Bly doing a lot with Infestors, but in this particular case, Vortix is going up to use that Spire, and oh, so close to spotting this forward pylon that Hasu actually put down for him in the bottom left-hand corner. But unfortunately, it's not going to work out for him here. HasuObs will be able to keep that pylon under wraps for now. And he does have an observer now, going to be scouting pretty much everything inside the main bases. And oh, Vortix, very nice play there. Spots the observer with his overseer and immediately moves towards it to try and head it off. He can see that the observer is now moving out, and that's going to be A-okay as far as he is concerned. So as a result of this, I think HasuObs still has not been able to get into the main base and see the Spire. That's pretty crucial because Vortix now has 9 Mutalisks popping out. And if that observer has seen the Spire, that will give Hasu a little bit more time to react. He's going for his Twilight Council as well. And he's also getting Immortals, but that's going to be a very tricky thing against the number of Mutas that have just popped out on the map. They are flying in from the top. The observer, I believe, did actually see everything that was popping his way just now, at least for a second. Oh, and oh no, he's actually hasn't seen that because he's gone into the main from the bottom. So he's going to spot the Spire going down. He's going to be like, oh, there's a Spire up? Well, oh my goodness, there are Mutas in my base. And that's going to be really frustrating for him to solve. He's actually picking apart the Stalkers now as well. Vortix has no problem taking these out because, frankly, there just aren't enough numbers to deal with these Mutalisks right now. And he spots an Immortal. Is he going to go for it? It doesn't look like at the moment. He's going straight for the mineral line in the natural expansion. And Vortix is doing a ton of damage here. HasuObs forced to warp in a lot more Stalkers, and oh dear, this is just really nice for Vortix. The element of surprise once again catching HasuObs off guard. The Mutas are staying alive, and 9 workers have been killed so far. So, pretty good stuff coming out of Vortix here. He's going to be harassing the front. If he gets the Forge, that could be huge. +2 ground weapons are being chrono boosted at the moment from HasuObs. So if Vortix is able to pick off the Forge, that would be great news for him, and that would delay Hasu significantly more. He tried his best to go for a lot of Sentries and Immortals, but then had to start warping in a lot of Stalkers as well, and that really frustrated the heck out of him. And now Hasu is in a position where he can't really leave his base, to be perfectly honest, because these Mutas are doing oh so much damage. These are buying Vortix the time he needs to tech up into everything else. We see the infestation pit already done. Really good stuff there. We can see him starting to build on that very, very quick 3-base economy. 72 workers to 47 at the moment. Thanks to these Mutalisks, there are still 15 left on the field, and he's making 3 more. He's not completely making everything into a Mutalisk. He just wants to make enough that he knows that he is a constant threat to HasuObs, and he can't just build an extra cannon or 2 and leave, because if he attempted to do that, then the Mutas would be able to swing in and effectively kill everything. So now Hasu is stuck in a place where it's very, very difficult for him to make a decision, and Vortix is looking like he wishes to follow this up with a lot of roaches. We have +1 Carapace and Glial Reconstitution about to complete. 15 roaches on the way, and this could well be a push from Vortix. Trying to pick apart the Forge again, but the upgrade's actually almost done this time. He's not going to be able to get a word in edgeways. Hasu Going up to a Templar Archive straight away. A couple more gateways popping in inside the main base here. But I wonder if this is going to be enough to turn this around. Vortix at 180 supply versus 102 right now. He has an 80 supply lead. Not something you would typically see. Hasu still on under 50 workers right now. This is such a difficult position for him to be in. He has got a Warp Prism out on the field, and the forward pylon here is going to finally get scouted by that Ling of Vortix. He should probably attempt to take that out very soon indeed. And the Warp Prism is just going to be sitting here with the army, so he hasn't done any harassment with it just yet. 114 supply, but Vortix is about to max out. And it looks like he's got the +1 armor on those roaches. Nice flexible upgrade, able to use that on the Lings as well. And Hasu, in the meantime, is going to push out with a lot of Stalkers, 3 Immortals, and a couple of Sentries. And I think this was originally intended to be some sort of Sentry Immortal play, based on the fact that Vortix invested a lot and sacrificed a decent chunk of economy early game. But it's not going to work anymore, and Hasu had to change his plans when the Mutalisks caught him off guard here. Moving up towards the top section of the map, we have some High Templar being warped in, and the Mutas fly directly over. Good fungal growth for one of those Infestors, but actually Vortix walking those Infestors to their doom there. And now we actually have the Mutalisks engaging. The Immortals are at the front of the army because we had some Blink Micro back. And it looks like Hasu is going to be able to survive here thanks to the morphing into those Archons from the High Templar. But Vortix is at 194 supply. He's trying to surround this army because he knows there aren't that many force fields available. Another good fungal growth. Hasu has a nice position, but does he have the numbers to defeat Vortix here? Vortix just moving back, picking off a couple of units from Hasu, and then just moving back and waiting to see what Hasu's reply is. But right now, Hasu cannot really advance any further. He's got maybe one big push here, and he has to hope he wins that and takes out a base before Vortix is able to remax, because he is back up to 165 supply already versus the 112 of HasuObs. And here we go, another massive engagement on the ramp here. 2 force fields go down, a couple of infested Terrans for good measure. 3rd force field as well, and the Warp Prism is trying its best to do micro, but it looks like Vortix is going to be able to stream in those force fields, unable to keep the forces out for too much longer. Vortix dropping to 140 supply, but Hasu on under 100 now. Can we get a target fire on the Immortal? Yes, we can. Zealots, which served Hasu so well in the previous game, now being added to the mix, and it looks like that was the magic ingredient he needed. He is down to 87 supply versus 134, but Vortix's attack has been repelled for now. The worker supply, though, is still 67 for Vortix versus 48 for Hasu. So Hasu really needs to make something happen here, because in the long run, Vortix is just going to be able to re-expand and replenish his army a lot faster than HasuObs. So he needs to use this army to punch a massive hole in Vortix's defenses and hopefully take out a base as well. Vortix, in the meantime, has gone for his 4th base location, and HasuObs is stuck outside. He needs to think of a way to engage this, because otherwise he is just going to be sitting back 2 base versus 4 base very, very shortly, and that is not going to be a good situation for him to be. The Observer, of course, spotting absolutely everything for Hasu as well, which is really good news for him. The problem is he is basically spotting that there is way too big an army to deal with right now. He's trying to segregate it into 2 parts, but it's proving difficult. Baiting a couple more force fields out, and a good fungal growth, actually, from a Vortix there. He's transferring some probes over, drones rather, to another base, and now he's asking HasuObs, where are your force fields? And they are not forthcoming. So Vortix, with the superior economy, able to take out HasuObs' army, and he wins and advances. HasuObs is out of the tournament, and Vortix moves on to the next lower bracket game.